Hi YouTube, how are you? I hope you're doing well. This is going to be a super fast video. If you're new here, I'm Tiffany. I'm a certified history teacher, a doctoral candidate, wrapping up my dissertation at the moment, trying to graduate in May, and I decided to come back onto YouTube a couple weeks ago now, and I started to look through some of my older videos, and I realized that about a year to year and a half ago, I had been getting comments asking about old videos as well as my teacher store. And this video is really going out to those of you that have been here with me for the last few years despite my inability to be consistent on YouTube, and to those of you that found me over on Instagram and we built relationships and friendships and we have been in connection with each other over the internet for the past several years. So this one is to you, to explain to you why some of my old videos disappeared and also why my Teachers Pay Teachers store is gone. Let's start with Teachers Pay Teachers. Back in 2019, in the fall, I made everything in my Teachers Pay Teachers store free. And I also had a Google Drive link that I had been slowly kind of building up in that Drive account where I was sharing things over on Instagram for free. And as I would create things for my classroom and talk about them on my Instagram, I would just pop a copy of it into my Drive so that if other teachers wanted to use it and modify it to their own classroom needs, they could do that. The reason behind this was I was very overwhelmed with a new position. I was going into my second year of teaching that, and I was still creating a lot of curriculum for myself because I just didn't have good curriculum available to me. And because of that, I didn't have time to go back into my Teachers Pay Teachers and update the old original materials in there, which were for ancient world history, and I was then teaching modern world history. And so because I didn't have time to go back in and update those, I did not want to continue to charge people for those materials. It just wasn't something I was interested in doing. I take the things that I put out onto the internet very seriously, and if another teacher is going to pull money out of their own pocket to buy curriculum materials for me, I want it to be the absolute best that it can be. Now, I love so many of my old materials, but are there things that I would change about them today? Yeah, and even if it was just small things like the size of it on the screen, the color pattern, the font, which might seem small to you, but those elements of how I create curriculum have evolved. The way that I would link to other materials, like multimedia things, those have changed. And the way I would link in accommodations and modifications, the way that I would provide supports within those materials, all of that has evolved steadily with me as a teacher. There is enough that I would adjust about them that I didn't feel confident selling those anymore. I'm really proud of those materials. I just wasn't teaching that course, and I didn't have the time in my life as a doctoral student, a mom, a military spouse, a full-time teacher, building curriculum and materials for my new classroom. I just didn't have time for that anymore. So as a responsible business owner, if you want to refer to it that way, I decided to shut it down. In spring of 2020, when everyone went out for the pandemic, I just completely deleted my Teachers Pay Teachers. And since I wasn't over here on YouTube and I was spending all of my time over on Instagram, I was just linking things for free right over there. And so it really just comes down to, I'm very much the type of person to hold myself accountable, and I felt like that was the best decision at the time. I'm also going through this dilemma of feeling uncomfortable with charging my professional peers for things that I'm creating when their schools should really be providing those materials for them. So it's something that I'm working through and trying to figure out where I stand on the whole scheme of that issue. I do value my own time and my creative process and the work that I go through to build my content knowledge, to locate the best resources, and then bring that down into a full lesson for students. I do value that. So it's just figuring out what my next route is, and I'm not sure, but as soon as I know, I'll probably let you know too. And then as far as old videos, for a while I had taken a lot of those down, and there were a few reasons. It also goes back to evolving as a teacher. There were a lot of things that baby teacher Tiffany did in those videos that I wouldn't still do today. Not because I thought that I was terrible or wrong, but again, as a teacher, I feel like we have to be constantly reflecting and evolving, and that has been my philosophy since I stepped foot into a classroom for the first time. Reflect on what went well, what didn't, adjust, and grow. And that is my process for everything that I do. But then, after reflecting and seeing some of your comments, I decided to bring most, if not all of them back, just because I think there's still some value there to be seen of a young teacher coming into herself as a professional and evolving and growing. I still am really proud of the person and the teacher that I was then, and I'm still so excited about some of the lessons that I used and some of the things that I shared from then. While I might evolve how I did it or how I presented it to students or involve them in the process, I would absolutely still be teaching some of those things. There's so many lessons that I used and things that I came up with that I'm still so proud of to this day. And so they're back, some of them, and I hope that if you watch them, they bring some value to you, that you enjoy them. Right now, for the next couple months at least, my focus is really on finishing my dissertation so that I can graduate, because I feel like if I don't get this task done, I'm never going to be able to take that next step. So this is really my priority right now, and just kind of sharing that journey here on YouTube. But I am going to be transitioning back into creating curriculum materials and sharing those things, because that's the ultimate goal of my dissertation. I hope that makes sense. Thank you to those of you that continue to watch my videos and to comment on my videos even after I had vanished for such a long time, and continued to do that. I hope that I'm at a place right now where that doesn't happen again, and I can come back and be more present. I just wanted to address that. I felt like I was responding to quite a few old comments, and I thought, well, maybe there's some people who have that same question and they just didn't ask it because there were so many of those. So I hope that helps. I hope y'all have a good day. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.